Something on your mind?
You know exactly what's on my mind.
Flora accosted us in the lower city. What the hell did you tell her?
Why, only the truth. That you bear the blame for the Duke's untimely demise. Such a loyal servant of the city, so eager to hear of your exploits. Tell me, darling, how is she?
As if you cared. Is this the kind of entertainment you wanted?
Entertainment? I'd be a cheeky devil indeed to make such diabolical merry. Glower all you want. I was merely laying the path to Will's success. With the Duke gone, someone will need to step up in his absence. A man with the spirit of a dragon. His only son, perhaps.
Welcome back to Tran wins Baldur's Gate 3. In probably a long list of mistakes that we will make, such as the time we accidentally flirted with Gale, we're going to go ahead and give Shadowheart a flower. It is an achievement, which is what I'm looking for as a gamer.
All's well, I hope, aside from the obvious.
Remember when you told me night orchids were your favorite flowers?
Rings a bell? Why?
It just so happens I bought one from the shop near Worms Rock.
Oh, hells. You didn't pick that by hand, did you? They're deadly poisonous. Joking! They're safe. And beautiful. Thank you. I don't have anything to give you in return, I'm afraid.
Wait, you're just going to keep it? I thought you were going to eat it. I better take it back then.
Ahem. No, you shall not. I'd hate to reward a kind gesture by breaking your fingers. Give me some time. I'll see if there's a way I can make it up to you.
And we get to bloom in darkest night. Gift Shadowheart and Night Orchid, her favorite flower. Always knew something. Okay, and let's continue moving on. We last left off our episode. We had just met Counselor Floric here and the Mind Flayer over there. Before we pass on this little festival, we're actually going to participate, since I don't know if this will conclude if we pass on it now. Will still have his exclamation mark. Talking to him will not do anything. I'll go and show you here.
Let's talk.
Thanks, Will. Before we talk to these two, I do want to talk to the orphans, just because they have slightly interesting insight into our murder victim here. While we enter inside, there's this dude named Delore, who we are on the trail of, and he wants to kill Cora Highberry. Who is Cora?
Have you seen him? Have you seen my dad?
Who's your dad?
His name is Yatsik. He's a super brave knight. We came here together, but he had to leave. He said that Cora would look after me. She's really nice, but I miss Dad.
There's a sadness in her voice that betrays a wisdom beyond her years. She knows her father's not coming back.
What use are city walls if the people within them must still live in fear?
What use are druids who allow nearby goblins to burn an entire inn? Who's Cora?
The lady over there. She smells of lavender and roses. She's really nice. She looks after all the kids who've got nowhere to go. She's helping me write down all of my dad's stories so everyone will know how brave he is. Why don't they let us have any more?
Are you an orphan too?
I prefer not to think about the past, if I'm honest.
But don't you miss your parents? I miss mine. Mum made the best apple pie.
My friends are all the family I need. Don't you have friends?
I've got Molly. And Cora. She makes a really good pot roast. Don't tell anyone I said this, but I actually think it might be better than Mum's.
And if we want more information about Yatsik, I think that's how you say his name, the lady who was praying constantly in Walking's Rest, she was praying over Yassik's body, I believe. We can find some notes. Maybe it wasn't in this room. Here we are. So first I'll read my thanks, Cora. Thank you, Cora, for taking Molly under your wing. I wish there was another way that I could stay and look after her myself, but when the fist calls, I have to answer. I'll be back before you know it, I'm sure. I've got Efren looking out for me after all. Yours vigilantly, Yatsik.
Dear Cora, I've tried to write this twice now, and I think it's best to be plain. Jasik is dead. Drought and hobgoblins tore through our ranks, burnt Joaquin's rest to ash. Whatever you tell Molly, just make sure she knows her daddy's the bravest man who ever lived. May hell watch your hearth and home. Fist effort.
Yes, you've made that very clear.
Alright. So that gives us a little bit of insight into the person that we will be attempting to save. Many of these partygoers are actually doppelgangers in disguise. You can typically tell when someone is geared up for combat. If you look at the top of the screen, it says level 8 doppelganger. If they're not level 1 and have 10 hit points, they're probably set up for some sort of combat. And then there's Dolor right here, the dwarf dressed in red.
You've had too much to drink.
Why, hello there. We were just about to try some of Master Metzley's delightful wines. Would you care to join us?
Oh, they do look ever so tasty.
Ah, Mrs. Highberry, I prefer to conduct tastings individually, so I may assess your palate.
Call me Cora, Master Metzley. And I'm afraid I must insist on their joining us. Wine's no good without company, after all.
The wine scent is almost sickly sweet, with an acrid note just on the periphery. Poison.
I think it's only polite that we let Master Metzley drink first. Or should I say, Dolor?
No. Who on earth is Dolor?
I must say, if this is a practical joke, it's not very amusing.
It was perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. You have sullied it with knowledge, made it an unclean sacrifice. I will remember your face, and I will peel it from your skull should you interfere again.
Yeah, that nose ring with a skull on it isn't a dead giveaway at all. The screen will spaz out as these guys turn into doppelgangers. And Dolor will always roll very high on initiative. You can kill him before he leaves, but we're going to allow him to leave. Actually, we don't want to cast that because we've already surrounded the doppelgangers during that conversation. I guess we will go ahead and... Not really sure what I want Halsin to do, really. Here, just take a swing at him and call it a day. Good job, Halsin. Good hustle. Alright. As for Asterion, however... We'll shoot some arrows of Minnie into the enemy fray. Oh, that just missed everybody. Good shot. Why are you missing so much? What was my attack chance? 80%. All right. Here, just take a different shot at someone else then. Shadar failed to counterspell. I don't know if that's been patched, but I know that in earlier versions of the game, you could counterspell his usage of Dimension Door, which is just the activation of his boots. When you get his boots, you don't have to rest. They are already primed and ready to go. I think he... okay, yeah, he just got slaughtered by Armor of Agathis. The camera was panning to that. I had nothing to do about that, but I really wish the game would work on its camera system. Even when I'm attacking, let's say I was shooting an arrow at somebody, it always wants to pan back to the person, which is problematic when you shoot, say, 4 arrows a turn or something. We can't cast Hold Person anyways, because these guys are not people. It's not me being mean, that's the game actually defines them as not humanoid. If I were to cast it, it would say, cannot work. I was expecting Call of the Week to work on him, which it did. so we can safely throw. I feel like the game has no longer hits me with the javelin. Well, I've sent some patches ago. But I still expect to get hit if I'm too close to the target.
The assassin escaped. He'll move on to his next victim all the faster now we have his trail.
Does this mean we should go after the next victim? Alright, well, I'll think about that, but we'll go and move on. Let's see here. Pod, I believe, has the... No, not Pod.
Afternoon.
Check Cole.
What do I think of Lord Gortash's
A promising candidate.
The Scarred Dwarf is a promising candidate for unholy assassin. Though he is personally crude, his methods of homicide are artistic and even innovative. He has set up a deadly wine festival to eliminate his next target, and I, for one, will be observing it closely.
If not over, then through.
I still can't believe... Why would anyone want to kill me? Thank you for saving us.
We get 982 gold. There's a hatch here that you can go downstairs. There's a key you can find elsewhere in the building, but I don't recall of any important loot down there. Let's head on towards our destination. So we have a specific goal in mind. I don't know what sections are timed, but it might not be, but we're going to go ahead and move as if there's a sense of urgency. We will have a chance to speak to Minthara after we talk to this news hawker. Except, if you walk too far from the area or take too long or even go back to camp, Minthara's bubble will disappear and you can't talk to her any longer. The problem with talking to her here is you're going to hear all of these people casting spells and shouting and everything during the dialogue. I will do the best I can.
I see it, sweetie. Come get your copy of the Baldur's Mouth Gazette. When the mouth speaks, the city shakes. All right there, Chief. Can I interest you in a copy of our fine broadsheet?
Now that's a sales pitch. Sure, why not?
Have a gander at that. Come back tomorrow if you fancy fresh news.
Alright, let's get Minthara over here in the corner, a little bit further from the rest of the group.
All's well that ends. Not as bad as it could have.
Sandals! Where to buy sandals? It's all here in the Baldur's Mouth Gazette.
Baldur's Mouth is truly remarkable. I had thought the purpose of a broadsheet was to inform the people, but I see now that I was mistaken. Ink and paper are not as insidious as the voice of the Absolute, but they send out their commands all the same. Think this, feel that, hate them.
If you controlled the mouth, what would you have it say?
An excellent question. I would use the mouth to ensure the people did not trust one another. Suspicion creates doubt, and doubt creates dependency. And they would know that they could depend on me. Feared, venerated, adored. I would be everything to them.
I liked her other dialogue responses too for options 1 and 2. I will include that at the end of the episode.
Should mind my step.
Out of my face.
Eridan over here is just impotently threatening a robot who doesn't speak back to him. Karlach here has a friend.
My God! Is that Fitz?
You gonna face me like a man?
Karlach Cliffgate? That can't possibly be you, can it? Fitz! If you aren't a sight for sore eyes. Where the hell have you been, girl? Last I heard you'd run off to Neverwinter, and that was what? 10 years ago?
Neverwinter? Who told you that?
Gortash. Said you didn't even give notice.
Ha! That prick, but... Never mind that. Look at you. The years have been good to you.
I won't lie. They have.
Care to introduce me to your friend, Karlach?
Of course. This is Fitz, one of my old mates from the neighborhood. We grew up together, moved to the lower city together, even worked together for you-know-who.
Do you see he's the Archduke now? What the fuck, right?
Right? Oh, I'm sure the fox will make a great duke of the hen house.
I think you were the only thing that kept him a little honest. After you left, things got dark, fast. I got out while my soul was still intact. Started working for an arms merchant. Still in the trade, as you can see. Met my fella Gregor that way. Been together 8 years now. And Karlach, we've a little one on the way.
Fitz! That's incredible! Congratulations! Mum life, huh? You're going to be incredible.
Gods, I hope so. Even after all these years, it seemed to happen so fast. But now that you're back in town, you must come to ours. All of you. We'll have a good supper, catch up. You can meet Gregor. And the little one. In a few months. Are the two of you together?
Ew, no. Just mates. Very good mates.
Oh, that's lovely. It's a pleasure to meet you.
I can't tell you how good it is to see you, Fitz. I'd love to come have dinner with you and Gregor. We're in the city on some urgent business, but can I come find you when it's all settled?
I'd love that. Meanwhile, if you're still in the business of intimidation, you should take a look at my stock.
All right, I actually like going to the merchants because it means powering up. We have just a bunch of arrows. Layla of the Ages, we'll take a look at that more closely once we make our purchases. And I guess the Dead Shot, that seems to be all she has, but that's okay, because I'm sure this place has lots of merchants.
Great to have you back, Karlach.
Hope that wasn't a lie. I hope we do get to meet up with Fitz when this is all over. First step, save the city. Then, save myself. And last but not least, dinner with an old friend. What more could you ask for?
And there's another merchant hidden under this camp here. And if you missed the Oathbreaker helmet style, our armor from the Mind Flayer colony, there's an extra one right here. You just have to help yourself to it.
You in need of protection, friend? What am I saying? Everyone's in need of protection. Don't be shy. This armor can't keep you alive if it's sitting here with me.
I'm sold. Let me take a look at what you have. Another piece of gear there. Again, we'll take a look at that once we finish our little checkup. All right, I think that's everything, so here you go, dude.
City's got a dangerous air to it these days. Only makes sense to take self-preservation measures.
Yeah, I'll bet. The fists are never... Okay, that's a really uncomfortably long pause, but sure, the game does a lot actually. I've noticed when I am doing voice lines and trying to move my voice to be the correct tempo, it's just a long pause between when the player is allowed to respond. Okay, first we have the Flail of Ages. Depending on what kind of weapon damage this weapon does, it also inflicts acid, chilled, or burning conditions. The Dead Shot. The number you need to roll a critical hit while attacking is reduced by 1. This effect can stack. And I also double my proficiency bonus when rolling ranged attacks unless you have disadvantage. We'll pass this over to Minthara so she can continue to build up her crits. She currently is basically the crit paladin that I was building towards until I reached Baldur's Gate and thought, okay, there's going to be a lot of dialogue options. I want to be able to see them all. Armor of Agility. Add your full dexterity modifier to your armor class. Additionally, this armor does not impose disadvantage on stealth ability checks. I'm going to go and pass that over to Will, being our kind of a front linesman with high dexterity. And we'll color that green later. Minthara, slap on that bow. And let's get moving. There are some cats there, but we will discuss it with them because I try to keep my episodes self-contained, where everything you need to know about something is in that episode. We'll deal with the cats later with our Speak with Animals spell. With a name like Honest Vendor, I don't know how you can go wrong.
Those absolutists love mind control. You'd do well to buy a charm sharpish.
A cultist took control of my fiancé. Have you got anything I can use to bring him back?
That would be the mind restoring charm. I don't have any of those, sorry. Have you fallen foul of a cultist's curse? Been addled by an absolutist incantation? Not sure? Best stock up on charms, just in case.
What exactly are you selling?
Protection, of course. Who knows the horrors these cultists have up their sleeves? Can't be too prepared.
Let me see what you have.
Just regular jewels. We can buy them all, and he still won't have anything to say.
Satisfaction guaranteed.
He's also got some more jewelry in these chests.
Gortash should have his own column. Never mind just an interview.
Yeah, we are passing by a lot of stuff here. I'm basically cutting through the city to get to what I assume is an important objective.
Should report this to the Gazette.
Let's take a look at the map while we park by this patrol team. We started our journey in Baldur's Gate, the city, here, moved and ended the previous episode here. So now we've cut through all this way. Still got some ways to go.
Have to keep going.
We have to go back to the counting house. What were you thinking?
Just running past the harbor. Our mission is in the harbor, but actually the far end. One of the things I like about this game is that what you see is typically where you can go. A lot of times, games I have played, they just have a skybox of some sort, and maybe some background image, 2D generally.
There is an admirable harmony to the Society of Brilliance. Beings of all sorts, united in the pursuit of intellect.
Breeze must be blowing inland today. Bringing in
Pursuit of
the
intellect.
foundry.
Fun.
Belching smoke and metal
Hailing from the Underdark can dampen one's sense of fun, I will admit. Down there, noises such as laughter tend to attract predators.
Sounds like a place I used to know.
We are almost there. Because we could see it in the distance, and while we could descend down to the harbor, there's an extra fight that I don't think will be necessary for part of this video. We're going to circumvent that fight, and we're going to enter this fight since it is right in front of our destination. I have tried flying through this little jailed or fenced-in area, and that causes its own complications. Now this is an interesting little scenario here. I've even cast Death Ward on the target.
Evil comes in many forms. This man has tried to divide us with...
It's not a lie. If you would just listen, I could explain.
You have done quite enough explaining, Volothamp Gadam. You have poisoned the very hearts and minds of these good, kind, gentle citizens with your lies, your delusions, your conspiracies. Though you hide behind a mask of stories, we have seen beyond the veil. We see what you really are. Fearmonger.
Hear, hear!
Attention seeker.
Hear, hear!
Agent of chaos.
Your parasite stirs in recognition. This man is infected.
Let the hells follow!
Today, citizens, we rid ourselves of this cankerous sore. Today, we burn away all falsehoods. Today we will be divided no longer, for today we rise in truth!
Psst. Don't just stand there! Help me, goddammit! Help me!
This damsel may be middle-aged, but let's get him out of distress,
No matter which of these options we pick, aside from number 4, the crowd will turn against us and we'll have to fight the soldiers here. The citizens run away.
You would kill a man for spinning yarns, for telling stories. Please, this is ridiculous.
What's this? Another heretic in our midst? Another mind clouded by the disruptor's lies? Another soul to cleanse? Well, we are nothing if not gracious. Let us see if we cannot lift the veil from their eyes too.
And then our group just calmly waits and watches for him to pick up a torch and light Volo on fire. Really. Seriously, that's what happens here.
No! Please! No!
While we do enter battle, you'll see that this stuff gets lit up as soon as I can fight the camera. I didn't pan back, it forced me to pan back. You can cast Death Ward on him, and while he will survive the initial explosion, these guys will attempt to then combat kill him. If you steal the gunpowder barrels by sneaking around without triggering the cutscene, they also become hostile to you. Even though there are steel watchers here, I've not ever seen the Fist ever raise a hand to help you. They just... whatever, game. Alright, let's go ahead, and it looks like Halsin rolled high. I don't really know what to do with Halsin. Let's go and trigger her opportunity attack. We'll start with that. And then we'll go ahead and... if we snowstorm, will that reduce his... will that remove all the fire? We'll try. Tran, are you wearing the boots that keep you from slipping? Let's see, you can't slip on grease or ice. Okay. So we'll try casting this snowstorm, which doesn't do any damage, but might put out the fire and make these guys fall prone or something. Alright, and I don't know what else to do with him, but I think that was a decent use of his abilities. Asterion, ready for more killing. Start shooting and killing everybody in sight. An action surge this time. And we'll take another... I was going to try to start from the other angle. And we still have one bonus move left. Looks like you can turn around and get him from this side. Alright, that is that crowd down. Oh, we still have the Dread Ambusher ability, so I guess we'll hit him with it. So while Snowstorm was cool, Asterion just rendered the snowstorm itself pointless because everybody in it is dead, aside from him who isn't moving. Now this guy, if he were to survive, he's level 3, everyone else is about level 8 or so. Yeah, he's level 3, Churg Elvic. If he were to survive, he'd activate Aura of Murder. So that tells me he's a ballist. You don't have enough... well, you have to do all that just to attack him? Alright, here's what we're gonna do. I want her prone to get make it a little easier. You can't throw that far? Come on, you're telling me you can hit that. What if I were to stand on the other side of you? Why won't you chuck her? There we go. I guess you just had to find a sweet spot. There we go. Okay, now Will can probably hit her. He's got a 91% chance. Bolster up that arcane acuity. We'll cast Hold Person on you. Can I critical hit you with a person? I don't know if I can get within 3 meters of you. I don't think I can... Yeah, alright. We'll just throw a regular object then. Okay, that was not a critical hit, so I guess that was not 3 meters. The height must count. Well, that's unfortunate, but that is the effective I was trying to go for with Will, is to stab someone and then use the stabbing advantage on his arcane acuity to cast Hold Person. Alright, the fire is not put out, so let's go to Gale. I'm clicking. Okay, well, it eventually put itself out when melted, but okay. Let's go ahead and disable that. Battle's over. You can stop concentrating on that. Thank you. Let's actually also, while we're here, pick up 1 item from each of our characters, and I will show you why in a second here. Because there's a good advantage coming up if you're playing along, which is unlikely given how slow I play this. But I replay segments over and over, such as the Mizora bit, and one more section coming up, which will be made more evident when Shadowheart speaks. Just gonna make sure everybody picks up 1 item just to throw away. And that's the last. No. You have Jaheira. And of course, the speaker has a Mind Flayer parasite since he was infected.
Wonder if the gods are watching me.
Alright. Karlek, send these to camp, please. And then we'll help out Rolo.
Gods, I really thought I was done for. I suppose thanks are in order. Again, what's an heroic story without a little risking of one's neck, eh? And you know what they say, the bigger the story, the more people want to kill you for it. I'll tell you all about it, but not here. Too many eyes, ears, and weapons about. Meet me at your camp.
Weapons reminds me of when I was playing Saboteur, and there's this dude, he keeps saying, "Weapons, Monsieur." So we'll talk to Volo real quick, and then we'll continue. I believe he was over here. Yeah. Saving a fellow tailspinner.
It is splendid to see you again, my friend. If you hadn't saved me from that mob, I'd be penning a guide to the afterlife based on first-hand experience. Perhaps you would hazard a guess as to why the mob turned on me?
Yeah, one of the things I did was, when first arriving here, I had to run several permutations to see if Volo had any different dialogue for if we didn't tell him about our illithid infection, if we told him about it but we didn't yet get the cure, if we got the cure, or if we refuse a cure. None of those seem to have made any difference. We're going to pick... the answer is number 1, but we're just going to pick number 4.
I just assumed decades of spreading lies and misinformation had caught up with you.
Nonsense! It is my dedication to truth that endangers my well-being, and I have uncovered the most startling truth imaginable. The Lord of Murder has returned. As he did 100 years ago, Baal has set his accursed sights on Baldur's Gate, and his temple runs red with the blood of the innocent. Orin is his chosen. And like Sarevok before her, she is able to take on the savage form of the Slayer. If the Slayer is not stopped, it will slaughter every living thing in this city. As one of those things, I'm particularly eager to stop it. And there is a way. I have a study of the beast, penned by the wizard Irenicus himself. It contains all of the knowledge needed to slay the Slayer. Now I just need a brave adventurer, willing to face Baal's chosen, and to put the knowledge into practice.
Well, he's fishing for you to volunteer. If you don't, he actually accepts and flees.
I'll do it.
Wonderful! I can scarcely think of anyone more suitable. It will serve you well. A study of the Slayer, penned by John Irenicus. It's one of a kind, so do try to keep it away from the inevitable bloodbath,
I've already slain Merkel's chosen. I can handle this.
I am a living witness to Baal's defeat those 100 years ago. So I know your battle against him is not futile. He can be stopped, but not all of those who stood against him survived. And those who did were never the same again. I wish you luck, my friend. And I hope that when I see you again, you'll be in one piece. 2 or 3 at most.
We have a book. Let's go ahead and take a peek at it. Even though this child of Baal has thus far been squandering the gift of their unholy blood, it seems that Baal's lash is inescapable. The Raven God now has besieged them with this Slayer, the Beast and Prophet, and when they turn, their minds are broken, more broken than all my torments could ever rend it to. I spent all this while testing the captive spawn with my experiments, trying to extract more of Baal's gifts from them. They have brought the Slayer upon themselves. It seems that it manifests in moments of pure hatred, a divine hatred those of mortal blood cannot fathom. When the child of Baal hates in a way that pleases their lord, Baal himself descends upon them as his own avatar. Despite all the Bhaalspawn of Candlekeep has done to prevent Sarevok's uprising, it seems Father must love them dearly to intervene personally on their behalf. Perhaps if I continue my routine of absorbing all of the divine essence I extracted while the spawn was my captive, I can force Baal's magic to quicken in my own blood, trick the fool god into thinking I'm one of his own children. Thus may I tame the beast for myself. The book then continues with a detailed record of Irenicus' experimental attempts to transform into the Slayer. It'll take years of practicing with the guitar to get to that level. Alright, there is a lot of... or there are instances where there's
my feet can carry me.
Character chatter, and if you step here, you get nothing. Right? If you step here, she talks to you, provided you have not reached the quest destination first. We need to step here.
What do you know of Umberly Astarion?
Oh, lots. Rhymes with undersea, for one thing. Fitting, eh?
I suppose it is, yes. But perhaps do not refer to her as such. She is a vengeful, capricious goddess. Who knows what may cause her ire?
But she's fine with the bitch queen. Give her some credit, Halcyon.
Oh, Wave Mother, Queen of the Depths, hear me. Please carry Holly to her final rest in the deep wilds. Please. Sorry, are you here for Wave Servant Holly's funeral? Oh, it's already started. They're just inside.
Is that what that singing is for?
Yes. Oh, please, you're most welcome. We have much to be thankful for. May the Wave Mother smile on you as she did Holly.
Umberly, a brutal goddess from what I understand, without even the slightest touch of subtlety to her.
Subtlety isn't exactly your forte, given how you've strolled about wearing a circlet inset with Shah's symbol.
You'd be surprised how people can miss what's in plain sight. I missed the fact that Shah was deceiving me. Besides, I have a new look now. Suits me, I think.
On that matter, you'll hear no argument from me.
Okay, based on that dialogue alone, I actually went back all the way to the Gauntlet of Shar and made sure she had her circlet equipped. Then I went through all of the stuff where she rejects Shar, no the extra dialogue, but I did manage to find some other permutations which I'll show off at the end of the episode as well. So it wasn't a total loss.
There's enough offerings in here for a trip to the vault. Off you go, Fitzy.
I was just about to, thanks. Wave Mother's breath was so overbearing.
I would suggest you save before you interact with this chest, because I was accused of stealing when I was donating something. Although the chest is red for trying to take it, so I can steal the chest, it is not red for opening. We'll go ahead and open it up and drop something inside, such as this shield we picked up from a dead body out there. Watch my feet when I close the chest. Bam! We received the condition Bless. We also got the one-time inspiration bonus of offerings to the waves. But we can do this with each character and get a, we'll call it semi-permanent Bless spell. So instead of being for a certain number of turns, it's until long rest. We'll just do this with each character. Whoops, put on the helmet, I meant to throw it in here. We'll just do this with everybody, and we'll walk away fully blessed with an extra 1d4 to our attack rolls. That's what Bless does, right? Yeah, 1d4 to attack rolls. That's like a 20, or that's a 5 to 20% increase to hitting things. Not bad. Even though he's a wizard, he still does attack rolls, such as with Scorching Ray. If there's a quantity already stacked in there and your next character stacks onto that quantity, it does not count as a new item. I just wouldn't reach into the chest when it's being interacted with by the NPC that walks back and forth, she takes everything from the chest and then drops it off somewhere, which we'll also investigate later, but not on this trip to the temple. Everybody now has a blessing.
Very well.
Here we have some people singing the game's theme.
Glorious wave. Rejoice, sisters, for Umberly has blessed her humble daughter with a pure death. Her lips blue with her kiss, her lungs full of her quenching word. Umberly's mercy saved her from a slow, sinking death in the beast's shadow. How dare this beast sully the safety of Grey Harbor? We will find its master and send him struggling into the bitch queen's embrace. Not a sweet sleep like Holly's, but a suffocating flood of fruitless garths and bursting flesh. You, supplicant, what tribute do you bring to honor the Wave Mother's fallen daughter?
Tiamat's unholy flame. May its light guide her in death.
The other gods do not look kindly on the bitch queen, but she looks kindly upon your prayers, priest.
This is one of the more upbeat funerals I've attended.
We are celebrating an act of divine mercy. Blessed Umberly saw fit to spare her an ignoble death, but her passing was not as the Wave Mother intended. It was a beast who took her life, an unnatural one whose very existence is an affront to Umberly. A wretched metal monstrosity hewn by hubris. A rusting pollutant that bleeds black blood into Umberly's pristine waters.
How did Umberly spare her an ignoble death?
The beast struck Holly while she was swimming in Grey Harbor. She was found by some fishermen. She would have suffered a terrible, agonizing death had Umberly not bestowed upon her the mercy of drowning.
I've yet to meet a beast I couldn't slay. If you need a hunter, you've found one.
The Queen of the Depths is generous to those who serve her, and her favor is far less deadly than her wrath. Find the master of this poisonous beast, and slay him. Then one of her most precious gifts shall be yours.
This precious gift isn't drowning, is it?
That privilege is not yours to earn.
I can live with the disappointment. Where can I find the Beast's master?
We haven't found its lair as yet. Perhaps you can find where the beast takes its slumber and skewer it before it wakes.
Alright, I'll see what I can do.
Salt kiss your brow. We await your return and the Beastmaster's demise.
Once you've agreed to help, you actually then are allowed to search the body for a pearl, which is what I got in trouble for throwing into the offering chest there. On a subsequent trial, it did not accuse me of stealing. So I think it may have been a combination of the pearl and the NPC looting the chest. I don't know. But that was what happened. I'm just trying to share with you. Save before you interact with the chest. We can take the pearl if we want. But if you tried to cast Speak with the Dead before agreeing to the quest, they would actually cancel your spell. Because you're not supposed to interact with the body.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
What killed you?
Metal monster.
Tell me about this metal monster.
Big, fast, hit my head. Everything went black.
Where were you attacked?
I was swimming in Grey Harbor.
What happened then?
I was swimming. I was attacked.
Do you remember what happened before you were attacked?
Just black blood everywhere.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
As the Wave Mother welcomes another daughter.
Feel the joy of Umberlee lap against your soul.
Gladly follow when our time has come.
Would that everyone knew the Wave Mother's favor.
Umberlee hears us and rejoices!
Furious and merciful Umberlee.
I long for such a beautiful death!
That's the one I was looking for. But we'll go and talk to the last one since we've already spoken to it from Brady.
Oh, Umberlee, hear us. Umberlee, bring your daughter home.
Okay. There's more to the temple, including some private chambers, but that will have to wait for the next time. We finally made it to this side of Baldur's Gate. Took us 2 episodes to get this far. In the next episode, we pursue this metal monster. Thank you very much for watching Tran Wins Baldur's Gate 3. I'll see you next time.
Longer a background murmur, the presence in your mind builds to a roar.
We've found it. The Absolute is behind this door.
We haven't freed Zariel's infernal asset, the one Mizora sent us to find. If we enter now, I'm as good as dead. Please, we should search this illithid colony further. My soul hangs in the balance.
Duke Ravengard is trapped with a cornered Ketterthorn. If we want to save him, we have to enter now.
You failed to fulfill Mizora's mission. She was Zariel's asset you were meant to rescue, and the Absolute's cult has destroyed her. Will has failed his patron, and the Hells now demand their prize.
Shit! Please, no! Please!
Will!
I've been thinking on all that you learned below. If you've got your breath, We ought to discuss our next steps.
Once you're dead.
How'd you survive it?
Come, there are important matters
Time to pack it in for the
discuss.
day, I think.
Without him.
Is it true you were a member of the Absolute Cult, Drow?
Do you mean to judge me if I were Darthir?
No. I mean to learn from you.
These harpers of yours, would they die for you?
Not for me. They would die for peace.
It is better to kill for it.
It's like God could have tossed me back in the shadows.
You're one of us. No fist left behind.
I'm glad that's still
I
the case.
traveled with a drow of Menzoberranzan once.
I should try to check him out.
Viconia de Veer. Do you know of her?
An exile from Lolth, much like myself. There is no love for her in the Underdark.
Ah, there is little love for her on the surface anymore.
Will! No! No!
Way of the Warlock is perilous. Will knew that.
His life didn't need to end like this. He had time. So much time! And where is he now? He's gone! Don't you understand? He's gone!
We don't have time to mourn the dead. We need to stop the Chosen.
But he isn't dead, is he? He's a blob of tormented flesh in the hells. And that's all he'll be. Forever. How could I let this happen? To Will. To Will.
Our enemies spread like rub rot. Treat one patch, and two more bloom in its place. An elder brain, bound by lost Netherese magic, with servants of the dead three holding the chain. Reminds me of old times.
You almost seem like you're enjoying yourself.
Aren't you?
I've got a parasite in my brain. Makes it hard to enjoy anything.
You came here in search of a cure, but found a conspiracy instead. I can see how that would be disheartening. But take courage. We have killed a man who could not die, and stripped the Absolute's army of its general. You have a nether stone, and you're on the scent of two more. These Chosen have reason to fear you, and I would like to be at your side when you confront them.
You want to join me?
Of course. Falling foul of Ketheric convinced me that my grand adventures were behind me. That even if I survived, I should hang up my blades. But you convinced me otherwise. We ventured into darkness together. Now we've come out the other side. I'd say I'm feeling a little refreshed. When we reach Baldur's Gate, there will be even darker paths to tread. I will follow you wherever they lead.
I'll see you at camp.
How does it compare to a shadow-cursed inn? With the Absolute's army gone, the Risen Road should be clear. We can follow it all the way to Baldur's Gate. There's a Harper's safe house in Worm's Crossing. Denthelin's Dancing Axe. We do well to check in with them before entering the city proper. Beyond that, our course is yours to set. I can recall how to take orders, as well as give them.
You killed the dead man. I'm impressed. And now your path takes you to Baldur's Gate. I shall walk that path with you.
Shouldn't you be skulking off back to the Underdark?
I do not have a home there anymore. My own siblings would slay me. I go where my enemies are, And they are not here in the shadows. They are in Baldur's Gate. And they will pose a greater threat than Ketheric. My time will come, with or without you.
Excellent. I could have used your help against Ketheric. He was a formidable foe.
Now, I am ready to leave this damned place whenever you give the word. The city awaits. Think this, feel that, hate them.
Propaganda is a dangerous weapon.
Yes. I am surprised the house matrons of Menzoberranzan have not discovered the power of the printing press yet. Paper spun from spider silk, everdark ink drawn from dragon scales, and nefarious lies dreamt in darkness. To kill one's enemies with a well-rounded phrase. That is true power.
The people aren't gullible enough to believe everything they read.
Is that so? I suppose that is why they have allowed a tyrannical servant of Bane to take control of their city. Truly, the citizens of Baldur's Gate are a model of shrewd wisdom that we should all hope to emulate.
You, supplicant! What tribute do you bring to honor the Wave Mother's fallen daughter? Yes. Rage and rebel against the beast and its master. A tribute most fitting.